Today, Shashi will be sharing his knowledge about the forthcoming topic on technical writing, which is a voice-enabled search feature in user manual. So over to you, Shashi. Please share your knowledge with everybody who is attending the session with you today.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Let me share my
Hi.
screen. Without further ado, I would like to start. Let's fasten your seat belts as we are traveling to the future of documentation. Let me introduce you all to the new user experience in the field of documentation. Uh, Across generations, people have dreamt of speaking to machines or spirits, to gain knowledge or to carry out a task or command. With this instance, I would like to remind you of a very ancient folk tale that we all might have come across in our lives, might have heard in our school days. So, such ancient folk tale is about Alibaba and 40 thieves. So, there, the door of the cave of the hidden loot is used to open by uttering a phrase. Do you know, or any of you remember the phrase which the Alibaba, the 40 thieves used to use to open the cave of hidden loot?
Kulja Simpson.
Yes, yes.
Kulja Simpson,
Kulja
yes.
Simpson. Yeah.
Yes, that's true. So they used to utter a phrase called "Open Sesame." So this makes the world's earliest voice activated device. Okay. So let's look at the evolution of the voice technology. Actually, it was all started in the year 1952 at Bell Laboratories. This was the time when the machine started listening to the humans. Audrey, the name which means automatic digit recognizer. This device could recognize the digits 0 to 9 with 90% accuracy when spoken by the inventor. So 10 years down the line, IBM invented the shoebox. This device could understand 16 words spoken in English. During this time, various laboratories started working on this technology, and they came up with a variety of devices. And in 1970s, there were so many industries. They developed continuous speech recognition system. One such system was invented in 1972. That was called Hearsay One, and this is the moderate vocabulary continuous speech recognition system. And in 1974, using multiple what do we say, the template matching technology, companies started trying different types of models, and one such model was hidden Markov model. And they used this hidden Markov model to to invent Dragon. This device allows a large vocabulary continuous speech recognition. And you'll not believe people are still using Dragon in major countries like US and all for medical transcripts and all. And in 1976, using beam technology, they invented Harpy. This device could recognize 1,000 words, continuous spoken words. And Google took the advantage of this, and it invented voice search for the mobile phones, especially for the iPhones. And this impacted a lot of cell phone users because mobile devices for the ideal vehicles for their speech recognition, and which immediately replaced, not exactly immediately, which could replace their screen based type search. And along with that, Google also had cloud data centers to perform data analysis to improvise this voice search feature. And in 2010, Google released a personalized recognition to voice search on other devices like Android devices. And this used the user voice searches to produce an accurate speech model. And at present, it is available in 119 languages and still counting. With this evolution, people started becoming more comfortable speaking aloud to their devices, and speech recognition technology will likely to spill onto other devices. Um, uh, it isn't hard to imagine a near future where we will be commanding our coffee machines, talking to our printers, and even telling the windows to roll themselves. After the evolution, let us look at the problems that majority of the users face while reading the documents. Uh, One such major pain point is like display resolution. So user sometimes use a variety of devices like PDAs, iPads, tactical devices, and depending on the environment, these devices will change. And so definitely the user might face difficulty in adjusting to the resolution of their devices in the environment. And the reading comprehension, yeah, users find difficulty in comprehending and following instructions of or the directions included in the document. And they might face difficulty in understanding the complex terms and concepts which are documented in the manual. And the other thing is like usability. uh, Users find it difficult to go through a lengthy topic, and they might find difficulty in staying focused and motivated to read the entire document to search for the relevant info. And the other pain point is like navigating through the entire document or the text. um, um, Definitely users find difficult to understand the document because of the complexity or the lack of clarity and inability to find the desired information within less time or the document very quickly. And the other pain point is um, as you all know, the key-based search algorithm is not designed to precisely detect the user intent, because sometimes they fail to understand what the user intended, and they show up different answers. These are the major pain points that are experienced by the day-to-day document users. Let us look at the advantages, rather benefits of a voice-based technology over key-based search. Ease of use. People are becoming comfortable with the voice search. In fact, 71% of a user would prefer to search through voice, rather than using the traditional key-based search. And there's one more research that shows that 40% of the millennials research products through voice search before ordering one, or before purchasing, placing their order. These statistics tells us a compelling story that people are ready for voice search. And the next advantage is uh, key-based search is losing popularity. Yes, it is, because the key-based search is becoming less popular during these modern days. Internet users are moving away from the traditional search method, and they're moving towards more of a conversational query type of method, wherein user can speak to the devices or assistants, and they tend to use the natural speaking patterns. And because of this, instead of using the stilted keyword base, they use natural speaking patterns, and that's why people are moving away from the traditional key based search. And the next advantage is people have a greater expectation, because the speed and the relevance of the major players like Google, YouTube, and other prominent websites have really upped the ante of for sites across the web. And not just that, users now expect fast, relevant, personalized results for every query they type in. And because of that, users want to utilize voice search, they and they expect to receive the results flawlessly. And websites are optimizing for voice search. There are so many companies that are investing so much to optimize their websites, and they've already started investing in optimizing their sites for voice search. And there are a few companies which are really focusing on delivering a great user experience for the users, and uh, on their websites and their applications using voice. And the last advantage that I would like to highlight is about the speed, which is the voice search is actually spreading rapidly. Voice search is not only confined to the personal devices. Many physical stores are deploying it on their stores, which is enabling the users to use the voice enabled kiosk and place their orders, or search for the products. Let us look at some of the distinctiveness of voice technology. One is the user experience, which is exceptional, as voice search gives the flexibility to search multiple languages and can provide um, more personalized result based on voice recognition and user history. And voice search uh, makes the user experience smoother and more natural. Um, the interaction and the faster control, because of voice search. Voice search is faster than typing, because typing takes more time. For example, if a user speaks, a user can speak 150 words per minute, and users, the majority of the users can type like 60 words per minute, so which is more than the twice of what we type. So voice search is definitely faster than typing, and it makes a great way to quickly get the answers what we need. And voice search increases user engagement, and as people are more likely to interact with voice search it over other traditional searches, so it gives the interaction and the results faster compared to traditional search. um, yeah, definitely, while typing a query, we tend to make mistakes. 8 out of 10 definitely commit mistakes while searching for their query. However, voice search avoid such mistakes, and it is more accurate than typing. And as a result of that, it can provide the accurate results. Yes, it is accessible. It allows the disabled to access the application or the sites, um, and it is way too easier than typing, and it is more convenient way to interact with the technology, especially for the disabled. And it allows you might be wondering why we have to include voice in our documentation. So let us look at the whatever the stats say about the voice technology and why it is required now. One is the awareness is high. It is because the constant innovation from major brands like Amazon, Google, Netflix. So now user expect cutting edge technology and cutting edge technology in every interaction with the application. This evolving fast. Statistics strongly indicate that voice search is more than a fad. It is viable. It's a valuable feature in people's lives. Consumers are transforming the way they interact with the major brands because of the voice technology. Usage and adoption, yes, people have used voice search on mobile devices, and they have become accustomed to the technology and its not just technology and its benefits as well. So this made the users comfortable using voice technology across devices, and users are likely be able and willing to utilize this feature on more devices, interfaces, and sites. um, yes, it outpaces all other search options because it has wide-ranging effects on many areas, including traditional search methods. Because people are speaking into their devices to search, which will which makes the queries to start and to mimic their conversation, and these speech patterns have made their way into text searches as well. Um, what does the facts and figures say about voice technology in 2023? I would like to give a few facts. One such fact is like 72% of the users have claimed that voice technology or the voice assistants have become part of their daily routines, and 64% of people use it to search for local businesses around them, which in fact opened the great opportunity of business for the local establishments, especially during COVID and post-COVID as well. And 87.7 million Americans own a smart speaker, which is like close to 35% of the entire US population. And uh, AIML are driving speech recognition to newer heights. For example, Google's Rank Brain, which is a search AI, which can learn and predict the outcomes based on the voice search and the user history. Uh, let's look at the usage of voice technology across various devices. These are the devices, and the percentage defines that people interact with the devices using voice technology. Um, uh, does any of you know that what is the average search engine result page load time? Okay, so
Not sure.
sorry, I how much?
5 seconds.
Close to 5 seconds. That is, to be precise, 4.6 seconds. This was the survey which is taken by PwC, and which was taken before COVID. And these were the results. 3 out of 4 consumers are using voice assistants at home. and they usually use these voice assistant at home while doing multitasking, while cooking, while walking, watching TV, washing clothes. So, though this survey was taken before pandemic, now people are more addicted to this voice technology. It could vary from performing simple tasks like shopping um, uh, to banking as well. People are so addicted to this technology. Um, I would like to bring up a use case, rather the challenges faced by the users in plant in the live plant. I recently visited BSF plant with our colleagues in Germany, and we took a detailed tour of this plant. And this plant is like 150 to 150 years old, and it has like it is like 100 square feet, sorry, 100 kilometers wide, and it is like a city in city itself. So when we interacted with the plant operators or the users, so these were the major pain points that were uh, given by the users in the plant. So these five are incompatible formats, because there could be different service provider or the manufacturers. So each company delivers documents with their own templates, their own formats, and which eventually make the reader or the user difficult to access those documents and not and to go through those documents and search for the relevant info. Sometimes it could be PDF, XMLs, and other incompatible formats. And the other pain point was poorly structured documents. Um, Documents that are not structured correctly can be definitely difficult for the user to navigate and to understand the particular um, um, info which the user was intended to search for. And navigation issues, yes, it is still exists. Navigating through documents, using keyboard commands or screen reader can be difficult when the document is not properly structured. Um, Limited accessibility features. Many web pages and documents do not provide features such as text to speech or Zoom functions, which can make it difficult for the users to access the content with no internet, or in the crucial time of the production area. Time consuming, yes, for a user without knowing the product, searching for a relevant info definitely takes a lot of time. And let me tell you how this technology works. Voice technology comprises of two things. One is the speech recognition, and the other one is uh, speech synthesizer. Speech recognition technology that allows user to talk to the app and send commands to it, like how we usually do with a keyboard, um, or rather key-based type. Here, natural language processing acts as a median, which is a part of artificial intelligence, and which focus on interaction with humans and machines through speech and text. And NLP simplifies this speech recognition process by translating text from one language to another, and it also responds to the spoken commands, and it summarizes a large volume of text rapidly in real time. And the speech synthesizer is nothing but text to speech, are often referred as TTS. TTS that the device or app can use to communicate with user, for example, um, while reading a text on demand, or keeping users informed about the status of a process. It is nothing but a artificial simulation of human voice, which is processed by the computers. Speech synthesizers take written words and turn them into, spoken language. And I would like to conclude it by saying that voice commands are faster and way too easier compared to the traditional key-based search, and it is definitely a boon for physically disabled and visually impaired or disabled person. You can use it on the go while doing other tasks simultaneously. At the same time, it is accurate as well, and it will definitely enhance the user experience as it mimics human conversation. These are the references that I've referred to create this presentation. And thank you. And I would like to show you the demo, like how exactly this voice technology works. And it is already implemented by one of the major competitor called Ericsson. I don't think I've included audio. Wait, I'll reshare it.
While sharing, you will get the select audio option also.
Yeah, that's why I stopped and I shared it again. Hope everybody can see it.
This is Enrico, a field technician working with our Ericsson products. When he is unsure on how to handle the Ericsson radio system's hardware, Enrico has to navigate through a large number of information sources and documents to find an answer, which is time-consuming and doesn't always mean success. To simplify this, we introduce our Ericsson Product Information Assistant. By interacting with the Product Information Assistant,
Good afternoon. What can I do for you today?
field personnel like Enrico and many others can quickly and efficiently find answers to their Ericsson radio system related questions and more.
Who are you?
I'm the Ericsson Product Information Assistant, but you can call me Pia. I'm a virtual assistant based on artificial intelligence that answers your questions about Ericsson radio system hardware products.
What is the weight of Radio 2203?
Here is a table with related information.
The assistant features an easy-to-use interface where you can ask questions using your voice or text, making it as easy as asking a colleague. With the Product Information Assistant, you can get step-by-step instructions through speech, images, and videos, making installation or interaction with our Ericsson radio system products seamless and easy. Do you need to know technical data like the dimensions and weight of a radio unit? No problem. By constantly accessing new information, the assistant evolves and learns to easily answer your questions. Download the Ericsson Product Information Assistant.
So that was it, guys. Any questions? Hello, am I audible?
Yes, Shashi, you are audible. I'm not sure if Snehal is audible, trying to say something. Okay, so people, any questions? We don't see anything in chat. So do you have any questions?
Yes, Puneet, I have a question.
Yeah, please go ahead.
Shashi, it was a very good presentation, beautifully presented. And the question I have is, how do you integrate this with with your existing documentation, and the cost for this?
Okay, so we have multiple things in the planning. One such thing is like it can be used as a plugin. We have our own CMS, so where this thing has been planned to integrated, which will be integrated with the that CMS, or either it will be added as a plugin to your standalone CMS. So these are the things that are which are in work, which are in progress. So currently, so the idea was suggested in April, which was considered as a white paper, and I submitted that idea in Sweden, Stockholm, and this was accepted by our company as well, and which is in a development phase. So we are planning to integrate that as a plugin to our CMS. So yeah, it can be used as a plugin to your document reader.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay.
Hi Shashi, I don't.
Yes, yes, Arvind.
So this can be enabled only in PDFs or any other formats also. This can be implemented.
No, it is like as I mentioned. We are using CMS, so wherein we can dump our documents in a range of compatible formats. For example, it could be XML, it could be PDF. So whatever the CMS supports, those files are accepted. And based on your requirement, it can be tuned as well.
So it can be used as a plugin.
Exactly, exactly.
Okay, thank you. So I think related to that only, Sashi, there are two questions in the chat. One, Kunal asks, is there any active plugin readily available in market for voice search?
Not for now.
Okay. And the second question is from Shweta. She's saying how to enable this feature on a PDF. I think you said it's possible. So
Yes, it's possible, provided the Adobe allows you to know to add that plugin to your Adobe or whatever the document reader that you use. It can be possible.
okay. Great. So I hope that answers questions of Kunal and Shweta. Any other question? Anybody? Great. So I think we are good then. No more questions. So thank you so much, Sashi. This was a very good and enlightening session. I'm sure people will be intrigued and probably go ahead and figure it out how to use that. So thank you so much again. And with this, we conclude the session. This one. Okay. Just one question, Sashi. Now it came up. Sorry. Nini asks, does RoboHelp has this as an inbuilt feature?
No, no.
No. So I think the answer lies here. There is no inbuilt feature, but yeah, you need to have some kind of plugin or integration, and that depends on the tool that you are using. Probably that, Shashi.
Correct. Yeah.
Yeah. Great. And Vinod, I think Oxygen XML Author, RoboHelp, the same answer applies to every tool. That's tool dependent.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay, one last round. Any other question? Voice is very low. Somebody's trying to speak.
Can you hear me now?
A bit better.
Now?
Yeah.
Yes.
See, in the latest RoboHelp release, I think so there's an AI integration, right? So is there a voice search?
Nini, no, to be frank, I don't use RoboHelp, so I haven't worked on it, so I cannot comment on that. So I'm sorry.
No, the latest version release we have mentioned in the website. Even I don't know. I haven't used Robotic for these older versions where we were using. So I'm asking
Uh,
whether because they have mentioned in the website as in that they have this AA integration and all. So we were
yeah,
searching for
AI integration. Yeah, that is something different from this voice search. Probably that is they're talking about the generative AI, wherein it will search using the keyboard search, not with the voice technology.
okay. So this should be as a different plugin for any other
Yeah,
tool, right?
exactly. Yes. For the document reader, yes, it should be a plugin. Or if the Adobe enables this feature in their application, then yeah, it can be used just like other features in Adobe. So they might include it in near future.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, so I think that's all about the questions. So again, thank you so much, Shashi. This was a very good session, and I hope we will have more and more research on this and we get better things for documentation. So thank you, Shashi.
You're welcome. Puneet. Thank you everyone for listening to the presentation.
Okay, great. So we will move on to the next part of today's webinar. So I hope after listening to such an interesting session, you will still be interested in now sharing your thoughts. So this is something which we call as open forum discussion, where we pick a topic and we hope that some of you would have some ideas, so share on this topic so that all of us can learn together. So the today's topic is how important are presentation and communication skills for a tech writer. Just to give a slight background about it, that what exactly it means as a topic for us. So yes, as a tech writer, we are writing, and writing is also kind of communication. But apart from that, when you are presenting your content, whatever you are doing in writing is one part, you are presenting it, you are communicating it using your writing style, that's one part. Apart from that, while working, you are interacting with people the way generally it is expected that a tech writer is a good communicator also. That's why our designation often reads as technical communicator also. So in your thoughts, you know, do you think it's necessary that okay, all these skills we should have, or is it just we are a good writer, that's good enough? And second thing is, in case you have seen some examples where how these have, mattered. Anybody would like to go ahead and share their thoughts? If any experience you had of this.
Hi, Puneet.
Yes.
Yeah, so I would like to add that presentation and communication skill are highly important. I can say for a technical writer, and if you have the effective presentation skill, it will allow to deliver your content in clear and engaging content to the audience, and it will make the complex technical information will more understandable for your audience, and as well as you can collaborate much better manner with your subject matter expert, understand and share your expertise, and even if your document has a translation capability, so if you are not able to communicate your content properly, so it will affect your localization as well. So yeah, it will I can say that communication skill and presentation skill is much more important for a technical writer.
Thank you, Kunal. Wonderfully said. Any other thoughts? Or maybe just to give you a line, all of you must have heard about that famous line, lost in communication. So do you ever feel or have you come across a situation where when you're talking to the SMEs or leadership for the work, And probably you could have, if you had communicated well, you get better answers, or probably there was a lack of communication, the way you communicated, the questions you asked, probably it could have improved. Do you think that kind of situation happens at workplace?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yep.
many times.
So if it happens, so in your view, what should a technical writer do to improve on that?
So
Others?
in my case, yeah, I like to add that in my case, whenever I schedule a call with SME, I usually prepare the question beforehand and I get to see the similar content so that I can form better question for them. And whenever they also make us understand, I will also correlate with them. So it is better to prepare and search your question beforehand because otherwise sometimes they speak jargon and technical language which will be difficult for us to understand and sympathize, I guess.
Yeah, preparation is the key, right? What else?
Yeah, I guess you need to have multiple interaction with the SMEs, because if you are trying to document a feature, a particular feature which you are not aware of, that SME should explain you that first. Then only you will have questions on that. So
Right.
you need to have an understanding of the feature, how it works, how what are the components in that. So if you have a better understanding of that feature, and that better understanding comes when an SME explains that well, or you yourself work on that feature, or you have some wiki pages or something on that, by going through that, even if it is a technical documentation, you will get a better idea of what it is. Then only you will have questions. So I guess you need to have a better understanding of what it is. Then only you can ask more and more questions.
Certainly. That's why I think we hear that product knowledge, user audience understanding, that's also very much required for us. Like someone mentioned about the SME interaction. Unless we know what we need to know, we will not have the right questions. And if we don't have the right questions, that's where the communication skill comes in. I don't think, just my view here, I don't think communication skills should be taken literally that, okay, this is Puneet, he can speak a few lines of English very well, clearly. That is not what is communication skill, that is just the spoken skill. Communication skill means what do you need exactly? Whether you are writing an email, so like Reshmi just said that multiple, levels of meeting and all. So that process, you are expecting them to follow a process. Probably they are not used to. So all these processes and all, for that also there should be communication. So overall, this is where at least I feel that when we talk about how we work at workplace, to other teams, that communication at every level should be very clear. The more clear it is, I guess, the better help we get. And if it's not clear from our side, then there is this chaos where we think our expectation was this, we did not get, and the SMEs or somebody else, they think, okay, I wasn't clear, so I just told you whatever was I asked for, whatever I could understand. Yeah. And that's why we have so many sessions also within the organization, right? Talking to SME, that's a big topic still now. So generally, when we talk about SME especially, so anybody would like to share what kind of challenges you see? It's not about you as an individual might have faced it, but probably your colleagues or in general,
Hi, this is Riti.
Yeah, please go ahead.
Everybody faces this, like,
Nini, your voice is somehow going very low, so it's very difficult to understand.
understand, right? And now, can you hear me?
Yeah, better.
See, everybody faces this. Like, when I ask anything about a new product or a new something which is new, even new to the field, they say which is they say about the topics, or they give information only which they know. Maybe it will be still on developing phase, and mostly it will be technical. So we will be also new to that. So there will be that communication gap where everybody had faced this. Actually, many of my colleagues also had this problem when we were starting for a new product, for a new document, for starting to write a new document. So this problem prevails everywhere. Like they give information only what they know, or which will be on the developing phase or testing phase, but they give information mostly technically. We have to understand, or we like Reshmi said, we have to go for many meetings to understand what actually is happening. Then we have to start authoring it, means writing that document, and it also goes for many editing, like multiple editing
Right.
the document. So
True.
this problem prevails with SMEs actually.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah,
Sweetie, you were saying
I guess
something?
this is
Yeah.
Yeah, yes. One thing I would like to add here, that we have to just clarify whether the understanding is correct or not from the SME. What we have understood and what their perception is. So we have to clarify this thing, that what we have understood is what they are intend to say. So this thing is more important while communicating with SME. That is what I feel.
Right. Yes, Reshmi.
Yeah, I also feel like as that the SMEs are also not aware of the whole product or the whole feature. But to overcome this, one thing we can do is to participate in all the meetings. Right from the grooming sessions. So we also will have a better understanding. We know things like what an SME is knowing. We don't know the technical aspect of it, but what that feature is, what is its business use case, and all those things, we also know those things if we are right from the beginning of the right from that grooming sessions. So you can ask the team. It depends on the team, it depends on the organization. If you are right from the beginning, it'll be easy for you to manage things. That is what I feel. So I make it a point whenever you are interested with a project or a product, I make it a point to be in all the meetings right from the beginning, right from the grooming sessions. So this way you can, to a certain extent, you can overcome things.
True. Very right approach. I think that's what ideally DDLC approach tells us to do. The all the 5 phases of DDLC before we actually start writing. Many of us just when at least many people come to me like talking about this problem, and often they say we have this challenge, that challenge, and I from their talks what I figure it out, they think they have to start working only when they have to write, but actually like you mentioned, so before writing there are 2 more phases which come in DDLC, and we have to be very serious about it. We can't be a bystander where in the end somebody comes to us that, hey, we are ready now, this is what you have, just go ahead and document. No, that approach is always going to give you a little bit of extra trouble. But talking about like when we say SME, multiple meetings and all are required, fair enough, multiple meetings are required. SMEs will talk in their jargons and all. And I think we should forgive them for that because that's the language they know, right? It's our job to simplify it. So yes, we do that. But I have one question here for all of you. If you would like to share, this challenge is there that, okay, you go to them and they talk in their language. But don't you think that, like somebody already mentioned, that you should do your preparation? So you are prepared and you have a typical set of questions ready. Yes, some questions may be added or removed depending upon the kind of meeting you have, but there are global set of questions also that you can directly go and ask, and that helps the communication get better. Do you follow any kind of such template, or is it random anytime you go and you just meet like that?
Actually, this depends on what feature we are documenting, because every time we document a new feature, so we cannot go with a template or a set of questions. Yeah, basic questions that what is the feature, and that is fine, but we cannot follow a template. That is what I feel.
Okay, sure. Vikram?
Yeah, hello Punit and hello everyone. As what Sweetie said, I'm okay. I mean, I agree with that because it depends upon the functionality which we are working on a day-to-day basis. And for sometimes, for certain topics, we do prepare ourselves to understand the basic concept, and we do prepare our questions. But for not every functionality or not every topic, we cannot be prepared while we are going to that main conversation. And even currently, which I mean this week or previous week, which I come across one of our recent experience. See, when we ask about to go through the our SME or product manager to go through certain functionality, so he was going through the detailed technical specification of that functionality, but he did not mention or focused on the basic concept of understanding of that concept. So he did not focus. So that's what we are lagged in. And one of my colleague also, he was not aware of the topic. So we experienced some sort of challenges that.
Right, certainly.
Yeah, so my intention is like my point of view is like, so SMEs or product owners also, they should aware of to have a basic they should explain in a basic understanding concept.
Well said. Yes, Manisha?
What my experience is I have a template as an other than the features, there are many questions that we need to ask while documenting a feature. So we have a scope document ready as a template, wherein we ask, other questions as in what is the release and when would it go, and it also has the template also has the impacted documentation list, so we know which all documents are impacted. So in all, it is a scope of work document. It tells you the scope of work. It gauges the scope of work, and also it helps us as well as the SMEs understand what we need to document.
Right.
So and what you said is previously, what you said is we about the jargons they use. I had similar experience wherein I had to document migration documentation, and the SME used term upgradation. So I was really confused whether it is a migration or a document migration or
upgrading. I think we lost Manisha's voice. All of you can hear me, right? Yes, Manisha, go ahead now. Yeah.
So I really had a tough time asking him the question about upgradation and migration. And even I had to do homework first.
True. So that's, yeah. That's all what happens, yes. So the terms and all, and we can't blame them because they have been used to that way. So we have to figure it out. So they're only, yeah, a bit of challenge, but yes. Kunal, you want to add something? I can. Kunal, I'm muting you. Looks like a background noise is there, Kunal. Okay, any other thoughts? Templates, no templates?
No templates, but I guess one common question we can ask for any feature is like, how does a user benefit with that feature? What is the business value of that particular feature?
Right.
And yes, most of the time, the SMEs are not able to, explain that well. So we may have to figure out things. We have to discuss with the product owners also to figure that.
Yes,
One question that we can ask for any feature, there have to be one business value for a particular feature, right? So
right,
I guess that is one question common for any feature.
right. So I think this is where that's a very good point you mentioned. At least when I think about SME, yes, SME is equal to developer in the IT world. That's good enough. But from a technical writer's perspective, if you think the word SME, for me, SME has been always categorized into two parts. One is the developer, second is the either it's a product manager, product owner, business analyst based on the organization you work, whatever designations they have. So whenever I have to take conceptual information like the 2 points Reshmi mentioned. First is what is the business case? Why is this feature existing? If it is existing, there must be some reason for it. There must be some business case for it. So what is the business case? And then how is it helping? So these two answers are conceptual informations. These information will be answered by product manager or owner or business analyst. But how does this product function or feature functions? What is the technology behind it? That will be answered by developers. So when we are talking about SMEs, I think that differentiation, if we make whom to ask which question, probably we can take that approach. Okay, and on some of one point somebody mentioned that I think Vikram mentioned, like the developer provided a complete detail about the functions and all, but that person did not explain the basics. Yes, I will tell you a very short example of one of the organizations I was working in. So there we used to have a global meeting, and being a manager, I was also supposed to be part of it. So in that, the whole project team, leaders of QA, dev, sales, everybody, that was a weekly meeting and we had to attend and we used to talk about things. So there was this issue happening that the developers were not providing this information, the basic in my template. I had a template for SME, and for me, template is like if you say user guide, if you say quick start guide, you always follow a template, right? There is a template. Yes, you can add or remove sections. I'm talking about the same kind of template we should have for SME questions. Based on the feature, you can add or remove, but there should be a template. Now, this template, I think somebody mentioned, if you share this question well in advance, send them in an email that, hey, for this meeting, these are the questions I am looking forward to ask questions, and probably I can come up with more when we are talking. So they are ready with that question. But now about this question, what is it? OK, what is this feature? Kind of definition, the basic, we think it's very basic thing and it should be told to the customers. I had a huge high toned discussion, not a general discussion. OK, with the development manager. He was stopping all the developers to provide that information. And then in the meeting, we had this chat. Why are you doing this? Then said, look, Puneet, you guys are technical writers. Your team may not be, well versed with the product, but our customers are very well versed with product and feature. They are not some kind of first timers or somebody who doesn't know this domain. So they don't need this information. What is it? So we don't provide it. Tell me, what should be the answer for this now? You say that, OK, this information is not provided. That's their logic. Why? Because they are thinking from a developer's mindset. So I had to tell them the scenario that why is it important? It's not important for you, but this document is not written for you. This document is for the users, and you can't assume that every user knows everything. If they know everything, we don't need documentation at all. They will open the UI and they will do whatever. Why do we even need to explain how does this feature work? What is the technology behind it? I'm sure when sales team is selling the product, they will be explaining what is the technology behind it. They can go and Google. Why do you need documentation? So, I mean, that's one challenge I remember I faced. But at least I think that, yes, we do need to be more organized when we go to SMEs and all. Uh, we need to be prepared, and this helps our communication because they also feel happy. If you simply raise your hand, hey, I don't know anything, I have come to you, now you give me the gyan. No, that doesn't work like that. People won't be happy. They will think that, okay, if you have come, you are also working on this project. At least some basic preparation you should have done and come to me. Now, how this basic preparation is done, I think some of you already explained. Attend meetings, go to the resources, whatever is. You simply can't barge into a developer's cabin or seat and simply say, hey, I don't know anything about it, and tell me from A to Z. Even if you're a fresher, doing that basic preparation is mandatory. They should also feel that, okay, this person has made this effort. And then that person, you go and say, okay, I tried Google search, I tried our Confluence database, everything. To some points I have got the answer, but to some points I cannot see. So can you please help? That helps them. This is how I think it builds better relation also, more respect towards each other. Anyway, that's some of my experiences. So, but very glad that you all have shared. Any other thoughts anybody wants to add before we close this part?
Yeah, I would like to add that sometime SME also unintentionally omit their crucial detail, which may not be crucial for them, but which will be crucial for your documentation. So assuming certain knowledge is common, that they think that this is common for our user, as you have mentioned that why our user would want to know about the, because this is not a first timer for them. So sometimes they also miss some crucial detail. So it is better to form a questionnaire before setting up a call with them, and this will form the, I think the meeting time will be short, and as well you will get the complete picture, or the you can form a accurate documentation in a better manner.
Yeah, and this may reduce the number of meetings also, because later on we remember, oh, I did not ask what was the prerequisite. Okay, I will go back again.
Yes.
So in some organizations, you have that kind of a structure where you can walk into the developer and or product manager anytime. But in some organizations, we also hear about this challenge that setting up one meeting with developer is a very big thing, right? So these kind of preparations certainly help us. Great. So thank you so much to all of you for participating in this discussion. I hope that, like, at least I feel listening to others, I always keep learning. And so I hope you also felt the same. Okay. So thank you for that. And one last part of today's event. So we have 10 minutes left. So now ask the tribe. Anybody here, you have any burning question that you just want to throw in right here? Probably as a group, we will try to answer. So it's not ask the tribe doesn't mean ask Puneet here. You all will have to answer. Any question, any type of question related to profession. No question. Okay. Okay, I have a question for all of you. Do you think you will go ahead and integrate AI in your documentation? Yes. Shall we do it? Yes. Okay. So when we say integrate AI, so we know ChatGPT, we know many other tools, what they do. So if we are integrating, won't it make management field? Anyway, many people say, what does a technical writer do? If we do that also, don't you think there will be, first of all, a bit of question on our job? Secondly, how authentic it is to use that data? Any privacy issue you think it will cause?
Yeah,
Would that
definitely. It
really?
will be a crisis.
I'm sorry.
Mhm.
Go ahead.
Sorry, Manisha. Yeah,
Would that really cause a security issue because it's an open documentation?
right. Yeah, and as far as I understand, it will fetch you answers from the web only, right? And our product, our documentation, unless it goes output goes public, your source file never goes public. And if you are integrating AI, at least I'm not sure if somebody is clear about that, probably they can explain. But if we integrate that, I mean, probably we are putting everything on web then, isn't it? So that's a privacy issue risk for the company also. Like especially many companies, I'm not sure about all of you, but some of the companies I worked, at times they will not allow you to open anything beyond Google. That too, Google was a moderated one. They had their mechanism. They will not allow you open any website, or they will not allow you to download any tool without the permission of IT team. Even if you say it's a basic tool, right? They say no, it's a security threat. So I'm thinking about that situation when companies were not allowing to download any tool without the permission of IT team. They were not allowing you to open. Very few companies will allow you to open any website on your official laptop. Some companies allow. So when they don't allow that, citing security issue, don't you think using integrating AI in your documentation effort, it's a bigger threat? What do you guys think about it?
Maybe, yeah, Puneet, Abhinav here. So maybe
Yeah.
in future, this GPT kind of module will be like separately sold to the business for
Mhm.
a it can start and work on from that specified environment instead
Right.
of connecting to the web. Yeah, that might
Yes.
be a possible solution. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe you can use it offline. That's what you mean.
Right,
Offline
right. Even
within your.
companies like started in-house production for this Gen AI tools
Yes.
to
Yeah.
solely use it within their team itself. Yeah,
In-house one is a wonderful idea, certainly. At least that's all yours, right? Internal.
yeah.
Yeah,
My chance. Yeah, please go ahead.
yeah, we've tried integrating Chat GPT in our documentation. We were trying that Chat GPT integration is a technical process and backend process which is carried out by the technical team. What they were doing was like using our documentation. We have a well created documentation, and with that we were trying to incorporate FAQ section. And when we ask a question, Chat GPT is trying to pull in the answers from our documentation. We tried
Mhm.
that, but we were getting weird answers. So
Mhm.
we've started trying it, but for the moment we have paused it. But we have started trying it with our own documentation.
Right. So that's an interesting point when you say weird answers. So if you remember, those weird answers, the context, was it still related? I mean, fine, it may be a wrong answer, but the answer was from your documentation only, or was it getting some terms which were outside your document?
Yeah, some outside the documentation also, but more or less we get correct answers, but you need to validate every time. And if you frame
Mhm.
the questions differently, it will throw you different answers. So it wasn't
Right.
getting proper answers. We were not getting proper answers, so we have, for the time being, we have stopped it. So we
Right.
have started trying out this possibility in our documentation. Our intention was to create the FAQs.
Mhm. Right. Yeah, that way it will certainly help. But yeah, I think many people say that it needs to be trained. So maybe it will need more time for training. But it will be interesting to know, Reshmi. So at least in the groups, if you can answer later on whenever your experiment is over, maybe after a few months or so, or at least you can let me know what was the result. I will be certainly loved. I would like to know. Did it actually get trained and start behaving like a chatbot? Actually, that's what you are expecting here right now for FAQ, right? You asked the right
Yeah.
question. Yeah.
Yes, yes.
Yeah. So great. Thank you for that input. Okay. AK's question is there in the chat if people can read and help. Otherwise, I'll read it out. He says, I had a question. He has asked on TWT app as well that where do we see us after 5 years? This was asked by some SME in my company who had suggested me to change my profession from TWT and IT role. As ChatGPT and all other AI tools are there in the market and your profession is in danger. Even can your current salary be doubled in 2 years from today? Okay. Okay, so let's see what people have to say here. Where do you see yourself in 5 years, especially with the competition from AI? What do you all think?
I guess we need
AI
to
still,
leverage.
Yeah, wait, one by one. Reshmi, go ahead.
Yeah, I feel we need to figure out how we can leverage these generative AI tools to, for the, how we can improve our documentation by leveraging the generative AI tools. We need to improve our documentation. That is what we have to do.
All right. Okay, Binoy? Binoy and Kunal, you will, yeah.
yeah, this AI chatbot also need content. So who gives the content? That's the question. I think the technical writer position would be still relevant. At least somebody has to feed all this information to the chatbot. Then only they can provide the answers. And I guess the developers or QS or other teams won't be able to provide the information as we provide as a how a user wants it. So I guess it will be still relevant. Maybe it will evolve into some other kind of a role, but not get obsoleted.
So technically, content creators anyway will be tech writers. That's what you're saying, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Nice. Kunal?
Yeah, I just want to add that ChatGPT will not affect on not only the technical writing but also the technical part also. If you can see, the people can complete their coding within what took almost 2 years ago. If you can see, it will now fulfill in 5 minutes only. So ChatGPT is affecting not only the technical writing fit, it is how you leverage them, like how you use in your day-to-day life and how you can utilize it. And coming to the salary part, yes, there is no hard and fast rule that your salary will be doubled in 2 years. Even you change company, then also there is no guarantee that your salary will be doubled. So it all depend upon how you curve your career and how you want to proceed with your long-term goal and short-term goal, and also your learning curve to your current company as well as your current aspiration, I can say.
Nice. Yeah. Arvind, you wanted to add something? Arvind, you are on mute. Okay. So,
sorry.
yeah,
Yeah.
Arvind.
Sorry,
Go
as
ahead.
you told, no one can replace technical writers. We have to upskill our skills in terms of ChatGPT or any other tools which are coming, but we will be not replaced.
They will not be replaced. Yeah, I 100% agree to this. So, so AK is that AK? You're there. Who's AK?
Yeah. Hi. Good afternoon, Puneet. Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you so much for the suggestions coming up. So the thing is, my AK stands for Anirudh Kapoor, and
Oh,
currently I'm working
Anirudh.
for HCL Technologies. Yeah, currently I'm
Yeah.
working for HCL Tech here in Noida. So the thing is, this was a question which was asked recently to one of my SME to me, and currently the domain which I'm working on is cybersecurity. So as you know very well that the cybersecurity is required everywhere. So this was a suggestion because the thing is, because right now I'm looking for a change from my current organization. So my SME told me that what are you doing? Why are you in this line when you can go inside the networking field? You can go inside cybersecurity. But I told him very well that no, I want to be in technical writing. I like the And that is whatever experience I have. I have around about 8 to 9 years of experience here, so I don't want to leave this. But he was very much like concrete on this, like no chat GPT is here, your profession is in danger. Even I told the same to him, that it's not like that, because even the system, when the computers came, we all were using the computers and we were working. So the same thing happens here also. The chat GPT is a tool which will help us. So you can say, which will help us in our own work. So this was the thing, because now the thing is, there are two parallel lines which is happening in my career right now. Should I go in IT? Should I stay in technical? So I was very much dazzled. That's why I had recently asked this query in our app, which Puneet had also commented that this was asked earlier also. So this was the thing which is happening, and I the votes which I have got was very good vote that we have a future. It's not like that. So this was the thing. So thank you so much for replying to my query. And thank you so much, Puneet, as well.
Wonderful, wonderful. All thank you so much for responding to that. And certainly this question, since the time AI and all have come, many people say different things. But do remember everybody, chat GPT or anything, that basically it needs data to give you output. Where does that data come from? But yes, don't feel, a bit, get into the comfort zone also. AI will challenge. AI will challenge technical writing also. Startups who can just go copy paste there, get some statements and write it, who want to anyway save money, they might use it for some time. But as the content will not be authentic, probably globally it won't be accepted. That's a fact. But then this is also a fact that the way technical writers are working, they also need to evolve. Right now, Manisha is talking about salary. What will be the salary? Okay. So salary, first of all, in IT industry or private job generally, if I say, I haven't seen that based on number of years of experience, we can justify that, okay, this much experience you have, so that's what this much salary you will get. That I haven't seen the global trend. Forget about India. I haven't seen the global trend. Yes, number of years define some kind of salary. So, for example, Manisha, you are saying 10 years. So I will just share this example. I have seen people, I have come across people who have 10 years of experience and they are getting 8 lakhs or 10 lakhs. But I know their profile and I think 10 years experience is just by numbers. It's not by skills. I have seen people who have 8 years of experience, they are getting 25 lakhs plus. As far as 10 lakhs is concerned, 30 plus also is the possibility. Also, at times it depends on upon the city where you are, because salaries are a bit based on that. But if you talk about a standard salary, I would say these days for 10 years, somewhere around 30 would be the standard. A bit high, a bit low would be the standard based on the kind of city you are. Bangalore will fetch you more. Pune, probably second best. Hyderabad, closer to Pune. Chennai, maybe lesser, because that's the HR thing, how they divide what, it's not about just experience. It's also about what is the cost of living. If you are living in Kochi and if you have 10 years of experience, if I am living in some smaller city, Nagpur or somewhere, even if I have 10 years of experience, there will be based on this place where you are. At times there is, so multiple factors play when salary is defined. But remember one thing, like I think Binoy has mentioned there, demand and supply. This is where comes the interesting race of upskilling. Race of upskilling means get, and this is for all of us, get skilled in the trending thing, especially when you want to switch. If you are a senior leader, your thought process should be like that, where when you go to interviews, then the recruiter can understand that this person will add value and probably help me reshape the existing documentation team, or else if somebody else is interviewing, and then they can think that, okay, when this person joins, then through documentation, my company and product will be benefited. So those things explaining the processes and some latest thing which probably matches with the company, and they are not finding other things. Probably even a 5 years will. I have got, I mean, weird examples of. Can you believe if a 5 years experienced person has told me that this fellow is getting 22 lakhs? Can you believe it? I did not believe it. I'm not sure how many 5 years of experience get. So there, it's a mix of mix and match. But one few things are clear to me. Number one, based on now I have 20 plus years of experience here, and few things are very clear. Salaries all the time are not calculated based on the number of years of experience you have, but if that number of years of experience is well matched with your skill set that they are looking for, then yes, 1.5, at times 2 also. Because as I said, when I said 2 years, from 20 lakhs to 35 lakhs. And in case when we think about money and salary, if you are not aware, I will just tell you that based on number of years of experience, there are technical writers who are fetching now salaries above 30 lakhs, 40 lakhs, some are earning above 50 lakhs. So in technical writing, I see the salary surge is really good these days. And that is another answer that, okay, AI or not, that's not going to impact your salary as long as you're justifying your recruitment. Okay. So salary, and the irony is people are ready to pay salary, but they say that we are not finding the right persons. So I don't know who is lacking. So, I hope, Manisha, that at least to me, there is no clear-cut answer. It's a mix of things.
Yes, Punit, it is very clear. But there is another question that I have right now is I have heard that I mean in India they are trying to match the global compensation, but whenever we ask for salary, we don't see that. So is it really true, or is it just a myth that I'm hearing?
Anybody else has thoughts about it? That's a big question. And I have a very opposite kind of answer to it, which I will think that all of you should not like when I will say. So first, anybody wants to, have you heard about such trend?
It will not
So
match
I
the
have
global
some
standard.
experience on this.
Yeah, please go ahead.
Like, yeah, please go.
Yeah, Kunal is saying to Binoy, go ahead. Binoy is saying to Kunal, go ahead. So Binoy, go ahead.
Okay. So I have some experience on this. Especially the companies are now focusing on this make in India movement, even for the software development. So whenever somebody leaves from this global locations and they are trying to replace on the Indian locations, so they are trying to pay as much as what they are getting there. Only those scenarios I have seen, that kind of budget is there.
Right. Okay. Any other thoughts? Then I will close the session with my weird answer. Okay. So I would love, Manisha, to get our industry to get into that situation. I would love it. But all of you, before talking about technical writing, are you all aware that where was development work going before it came to India? Not aware? I mean, outside US, outside West, where was it going? Have you heard that China produced a lot of developers?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I have worked in companies where development was in China, documentation was in India, both for cost saving purpose and quality purpose. Slowly, the same companies, the Indian office size increased, Chinese office shrunk, or offices were closed. Do you know the reason? Can you guess the reason?
Cost.
Manpower.
Cost.
Political.
Man,
Salary.
We are talking about China versus India, man. Don't talk about manpower. We all have enough resources. We are dealing with billions, right? So it's not about manpower, it's about the cost. Chinese salary started growing faster and faster. Then the companies realized that, okay, we are spending more. Let's go to India because we are getting quality developers there also, and the cost is less. The same thing has happened with technical writers. People are coming to India for technical writing because the cost is, as per their cost, when they convert from dollars or euros, the cost is lesser. Okay. Now, this is where I am a bit scared when technical writers, and Manisha, this is not about you. Okay. I'm talking about general scenario. I'm a bit scared when people keep thinking that, okay, my salary will double in 2 years, 4 years. Think about a situation. If that kind of high salary expectation we will have where we are, in case it's matched to the global level, there will be some other country, right, where it is not matching the global level. So where will the players go? Unfortunately, English is something slowly the whole world is getting skilled in, right? So I wish to, so I don't have an answer to Manisha's question here. I wish this happens, but then at the same time, I am a bit scared. If that happens, will the job market remain the same? The demand remains, will it remain the same in India? That's one question I have. I haven't got the answer for it, but somebody here or later can answer. I will be happy to know that. Do you guys think that that is a bit scary? Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah,
very true.
definitely. Definitely, it's a bit scary, and they may go to the native speakers for documentation.
Oh yeah, that's another angle because if we are providing the same, then
Yes.
why not to hire Americans or Britishers or anybody who has it
Yeah,
native?
they'll
Yeah,
prefer native speakers.
right. Right now also they prefer, but due to the cost factor, they have to
Yeah,
come to
yes, yes. They're coming to us. So it's it's
so
it's a scary situation.
yeah. So yeah, I haven't heard actually, Manisha, about this global thing, and
Mm.
I may sound very, I mean, you may hate me for this, all of you, but I do pray that this doesn't happen. It will be very bad for our market. We should get paid well. We should get paid well, no doubt about it. But I believe our standard of paid well is different than the global level, right? So somewhere we should be in the middle. We should not be paid less, that's for sure. And in today's market, I don't know how many of you agree, but the salaries that technical writers are getting, isn't it pretty good in general? There are bad companies also, but in general, isn't it good?
Yes, it is.
Yeah,
Yes, it is. Yeah.
So this is where somebody tells me, oh, technical writing doesn't have any future. I always tell, depending upon the kind of relation I have with that person, if that person is very friendly, I say, go and see the mirror. Tomorrow, you are a developer, you may not exist, okay? Because ChatGPT provides every code, okay? Now, I don't know some language. Even I need to go, ChatGPT gives me. I do the workaround on my own now. I don't need you. But writers, we will need in this form or some modified form. Okay, great. So I think we are already 11 minutes ahead of time. Yeah. Anything?
Oh, okay. If time permits, I have another question.
Okay, let's try it for 4 minutes. 4 more minutes. We will close at 12:30. Go ahead, please.
I'll just share one scenario wherein nowadays we all have notice period of 60 days or 90 days. So it's a
Mhm.
one that she was selected. She got selected in a company, got an offer letter, but towards the end of her notice period, the offer did not materialize. I mean, they said that there is no requirement right now, and we are still
Mhm.
working on the project. And so that is how it was nullified. So in such situations, I mean, has somebody faced such kind of situation? And if if yes, how did they handle it, tackle it? I mean, we do understand that एक बार interview दे दिया, लेकिन we do not sit idle. We keep on giving interviews, have 2 to 3 offers in hand. But
Right.
my friend did not have the offer, and she was very happy that she has one offer in her hand. But later
Right.
on, she had to join some other company, which and had to compromise with the salary. So this was
Yeah.
really very bad, that thing that has happened. So
True.
how to tackle these situations? When are there any legalities involved in it? So because once you get
Yes,
an offer, it is declined. Yes, please go ahead. I'll stop here.
the same thing happens. It's like you can the same scenario has happened with me also. It's like I don't know why, though all our companies they have 90 days of notice period, but the company where we apply they say no, you come in 30 days or 15 days also. But now you can tell me the company the other employees who are already working in that company they also have 90 days. So how can you say to us that we should join you in 30 days? That's a big problem. Even I'm facing the same, Anisha. We all are facing. I mean to say.
True.
Waiting for the any suggestions.
I feel at least there is no legalities. Of course, there is none. That's why these stupid things are prevailing. And of course, this first it was, I think, when we started our career, it was like 30 days notice period. Then we heard about 2 months. And 3 months we used to hear only, at least from tech writing perspective, we used to hear from people in the hardware industry. At least in software industry, it was not there. And even in the same companies, the irony is you are a technical writer here in India and somebody is your fellow, colleague. That person is working in Europe or US. Do you know what is their notice period? Same company, big companies.
It's very
15
2 weeks
days.
maybe.
yeah.
15 days.
2 weeks.
15 days is the standard notice period. Very rarely, unless they are into some senior management position where it needs a lot of, different stuff. 15 days is the notice period. Such an irony. And you are working in the same company following, you are also a permanent employee there also. That is one scenario. Now, how to deal with it? 3 months notice period is certainly a very sad thing. And like Anirudh said, yes, the same company which imposes 3 months notice period, they want you to join next day. Okay, forget about 30 days and 12. They want you to join. So this is a very catch-22 situation. And I should not be saying this, but at least in this case, honesty doesn't pay. If you are in a notice period, at least of such longer duration, and if you are applying somewhere, at least keep 2 offers in hand. Yes, it will feel bad to the company whom you are refusing. But like Manisha, the situation you have said, I have heard multiple such stories. Unfortunately, legally, you can't do anything. Yes, Anirudh.
There is one thing more. We can go for a buyout, but that also depends on the company because if they accept the same, then you can go for it. Because this I have done in my past.
Right.
Thank you. Because buyout is only that you need to pay the basic salary, basic pay.
Right. Yeah, and even the buyout, the thing that I have seen with buyout, 1 month buyout is still okay. 3 months, it's kind of generally it doesn't happen, right? 3 months or 2 months. But yes, buyout is certainly one
That is true.
possibility. Yes,
But many
Kunal?
company doesn't give the buyout options also.
Yeah, yeah. At times your manager, that person is the main culprit. Kunal, you wanted to add something for long?
Yeah, I would like to share my experience because I have handled 3 month notice period. I don't want to name any company, but in my starting of career, I had a 3 month notice period, and I have when I want to switch to some other company, there are many companies where I getting rejected only for the notice period, and I got the offer letter still they are rejecting because I had a notice period of 3 months. So first thing, like there are many friends of me who have switched from the company 3 month notice period. So what we did, like we try to negotiate with some other cities. Like there are alternative cities. If you see, if you are comfortable to some other cities where the resources supply and demand is very less, very you will get easily 3-month notice period. You can negotiate with them, or else you can get, as Puneet has mentioned, that you should try for multiple offer letter, and when you are confident enough that you can resign first and then search for a job. So probably you will get, because 3 months, within 3 months, if you are confident enough, you will definitely get a job. You will land a job, and there are many of my friends who has got the job within that 3 months.
Right. And coming to the main point of Manisha, that okay, the candidate she's talking about, the candidate had offer, but just a few days before, when it was said that okay, that offer doesn't exist. So this is certainly a big challenge, and from both sides, Manisha. You might have seen in the groups also that we had those discussions, right? So managers will say we are waiting for you for the last 2 months, and on the joining date, the candidate says, I won't be able to join. What about our effort? So what to say? This is such a scenario. I think there is nothing right and wrong. Whatever suits an individual, that's fine. And of course, there are no legalities. That's why all these things are thriving.
Right for them.
So I'm sure there is no answer to this, Manisha, but yeah, that's the situation. And at least to all those candidates, I always tell candidates, especially those candidates who are on a long notice period, at least try to have 2 offers, then stop the search. So that if something goes wrong, it's not always that you know, many companies have come up for some reason at that point of time. And what do you get? You just get one email, sorry, we cannot continue with this offer. That's all. But what do you do? So better to be safe.
That's true.
Right.
Thank you.
Okay, so I'm glad still so many of you are here, and I think these kind of discussions will certainly help all of us. So thank you so much to all of you so for still staying so late, and we will catch up again. Have a nice weekend.
Thank you, everyone. Bye.
Thank you
Yeah,
so
thank
much.
you.
Thank you so much,
Thank
everyone. Thank
you.
you.